What's up, everybody? Destin Laguerre here with Lars Bakken, and today we are checking out Control. You brought it back, 4v4. Tell me all about how everything has changed, Lars.
Yeah, in Destiny 2 with 4v4, we had to look at how we handled game modes. Control, obviously, one of the fan favorites coming back. So one of the big changes players will notice right off the bat is that both A and C are pre-captured for your team. What we found was that when you had 3 possibilities at the beginning of the game, players sort of had too many things to do and it spread the players out too much. And so we just went ahead and pre-captured A and C for them, which means then your real point of attack should be either the opposite side, whether that's A or C, or B. And what ends up happening, because B is not captured yet, the big fight happens in the first 10-15 seconds over B.
Okay, and it looks like you just auto start capturing. There's no more like neutralizing it.
That is correct. One of the other big changes was that when you capture, there's no neutralization portion. It's no longer a 2-step capture. When you cap it, it's done. It's there for your team. We did change the timing a little bit too, and the other big change that players will notice if they're paying attention is that you don't have to have multiple people in the zone anymore to make it capture faster. Again, this was about not causing players to be clumped up in too many places together. We want them to clump up if they're working together as a team, but these really interesting things start to happen because multiple people don't have to be capturing the zone at the same time. I can go in there and start capping and say, hey, Dustin, move on, like go and protect my flank, or go off and start capturing another area. So as a team, we're able to sort of divide and conquer.
And even this is really subtle, but I noticed it right away. You can see through the flag. Was that because you noticed like the obscuring of view? Like I would find myself moving forward.
Yeah, that was one of the things after you play Control for a little while in Destiny 1. If the flags were getting in your way, it was just sort of frustrating, and we, again, like I said, there's a lot of subtle things. We made the flag go more transparent the closer you get, so it doesn't get in your face when you're fighting with people. Because those situations can be really intense, and the last thing you want is a flag flapping around your eyeballs while you're trying to shoot somebody. Definitely.
So I've actually captured point A, I have C, and I'm going to capture B here. What does that mean for my points?
So you have a zone advantage already. At the top of the screen it says Zones 2 for your team. Now it just switched to Power Play. You're controlling all 3 zones, which means the point multiplier changes. So everything in Destiny 2 has been simplified. So when you get a kill, you're getting a single point for your team. When your team has 2 zones active, go for it, just do it. When your team has 2 zones active, you're going to get 2 points per kill, and like you just showed, when your team is in the power play and has 3 zones active, you'll get 3 points for each kill.
So yeah, we have a total of 5 points now. We're in the power play. That player is going to come back to it. Anything else we should know about the Control revamp?
Those are the major changes. The other thing that's more obvious too, once you get in and play this in the beta, the matches are a little bit shorter. They run about 8 minutes long. Obviously the timer at the top of the screen is just in this internal dev version. We're just playing a 2-player game, but the matches will go to 8 minutes. We do have Mercy Rule enabled as well, so we'll be testing out how matchmaking works in the beta and everything and see how that happens, but those are the majority of the rules. It should feel very similar to traditional Control, just with that Destiny 2 bit of pizzazz.
Definitely. So I have to ask, what were some of the challenges with going from the old mode where everybody's camping on a point, and you kind of get those really exciting moments where like you get a Nova bomb and you're like, yeah, I got the whole team, that's awesome. You had to make sacrifices for that for smaller team sizes. How do you make those decisions?
It comes down to when we looked at the overall vision for where we wanted to go with the Crucible for Destiny 2, and a lot of that was making it not only more competitive, but making it more learnable and understandable. And the team size definitely came out of that. When we reduced the teams down to 4, you're only really, you only have to pay attention to 3 additional buddies on your team and 4 enemies, and that just makes the sort of space that you have to be in as a player and what you're paying attention to and the number of things that are available to you at any given time. It consolidates that space down and it makes it easier for you to comprehend as a player. But then a lot of the changes we made to Control specifically speak to obviously the lower player count and having players go after the things that are more interesting to do, right? So we want to not have you, we remove the neutralizing portion because it's not necessarily fun to sit on a control zone for a super long time by yourself, which could happen occasionally. So remove the neutralization. We made it, you know, a tiny bit faster in some ways. We made it so that you don't have to group up there, again, putting you in these sort of dangerous situations. And we wanted to make the game feel more tactical and understandable. And that's, again, the reasoning behind like not wanting multiple players to be on the zone at the same time. Players will still do these things, of course, because old habits die hard. But once you get a feel for it, the game starts to flow in a really fun and interesting way.
Well, thank you so much, Lars. Having had a chance to actually play it, it still feels great. And I can't wait for players to get their hands on it for themselves.
Us either. Thanks again.
Of course. Guys, if you want more on Destiny 2, you're already in the right place. IGN.
Thanks for watching this IGN First on Destiny 2. If you like Destiny, be sure to check out Fireteam Chat, our weekly Destiny show that airs Fridays at 5. And don't forget to come back and check out more IGN First coverage on Destiny 2.